Hello, everyone, and welcome to the first episode of the Open Africa podcast for the year 2020. My name is Laolu, and I'm here with
Furo.
And Nosa.
So
Enemies of steel.
I will have said so it's good to see that some things never change. I've said that it feels good to be back, but we didn't really go anywhere like that. Anyway, so very quickly today, what we're going to do is we're going to talk about 2019 in review and the funding landscape in Nigeria for technology companies. So, Fur, you want to...
All right. So, 2019, we saw that there was lots of inflow of dollars into like the technology space. But then I think it reflected in our episodes where we kept going back to fintech because ultimately fintechs got the bulk of the funds. So in order of looking at this, it's fintechs, energy, and then health. Health is surprising, but yeah.
Yeah, energy is surprising because that's one sector that I feel like gets a lot of underreporting.
Who's the energy person that got money?
So we have what's this guy?
To be fair, I don't even really know any energy.
This is Malawi, Yellow. It's like renewable energy. And there's
I
another.
forgot that this was an African podcast.
Yes, an African podcast.
When it was what's it called? As soon as I said energy, I was like, who's doing energy in this country?
Wow.
We don't have lights.
Perhaps we should start doing energy.
Yeah. Like we have a couple. There are a couple. There's one in Uganda as well called, which name escapes my mind, GNU Grid. Yeah. So
right. I really don't have context on those guys, but if they're raising money, then it's good for them.
Yeah.
I mean,
speaking of energy, one of my friends wants to do one business where it's like a box, subscription box for light. That thing that MTN has, but better.
I mean, if it makes sense, I would patronize his business.
Please, can you shed more light, or is it too early to shed light?
It's too early to shed light, but it's like basically concept is like an inverter, but
or subscription-based inverter.
Yeah, it's like powered by solar, something. We were speaking it this one time, but you know me, I wasn't really listening like that.
Because it's not fintech.
Well, that kind of stuff. For me, it's just put money inside a generator.
Team Apt raised money last year, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
And it was over $1 million.
Yeah, it was local money.
That's I'm happy for them because they tried.
Is it Jimovia?
5.5 mil.
$5.5 million.
Is that Jimovia?
Nice.
Or I think it's Jimovia. It's a Nigerian guy that led it.
It's right here.
Is Ovia, right?
Yes.
I mean, lots of people raised money. Farm Crowdy, Andela, Interswitch. Not startup, just technology. Big
Yeah, raised money last year.
Kuda Bank also raised money.
I said me personally.
Oh, right.
They have not included me in this list, so this is not.
Sorry.
I don't rate this list.
Should we name the other name?
Who raised you personally?
Yes.
As
Festival Coins.
Exactly.
Money.
Introduce the brand, yeah.
Please. I don't understand.
At this point in time,
event tech.
We should open an account somewhere that you'll be paying us for these plugs.
Yes.
It's getting ridiculous. You are just pushing everything.
Me have business to promote. Hello, I have a business called Festival Coins. We do online ticketing and RFID access control. I don't know about Laolu.
So how much did you raise?
I can't tell you. They don't disclose this stuff.
They raised from microtraction.
Guy, you're not familiar with the industry.
Yeah.
You always say it's
but we know microtraction, their cap is at 65k DS.
It's undisclosed, Sha.
You know their cap.
I can't tell you.
So we know that Nosa did not raise more than 65k.
Yes.
Okay, glory to God.
Glory to God.
I mean, there was a lot of movement across the African continent.
Yeah.
In
and
2019.
then, so in terms of geography, obviously the big boys, South Africa, that was where the most of the money went. South Africa,
Nigeria.
The big money, yeah. South Africa, Nigeria, Kenya.
Egypt is another big country for technology
You know, why
Egypt was for like smaller
please,
transactions.
please. Why are they including InterSwitch in this stuff?
Because InterSwitch is a technology company.
InterSwitch-
But
It's not a startup. I don't understand. Why do you
exactly.
They send deals by African startups. InterSwitch is a startup.
See, until you IPO, you are a startup.
This is
Which
$1
kind of
billion-
stuff is
this
that?
InterSwitch is an entrenched institution at this company. Maybe InterSwitch say they are not working tomorrow. The Nigerian banking industry might shut down.
Nigerian technology industry might shut down.
Even OPay itself, they are starting to annoy me. They shouldn't be included in all this stuff. Even OPay itself, they are starting to annoy me. They shouldn't be included in all this stuff.
Because the money is plenty, Abi. Interesting.
And there are 100 million. Okay, well, that's it. I even forgot.
That's true.
Yeah.
And then some other West African countries who are starting to pick up traction, like Ghana and Senegal.
Traction.
Traction is not, they are not big boys yet.
Yeah.
I wonder how they do pitch deck in Ghana.
Hey,
Like,
hey,
you know,
hey,
wait.
hey.
You know how they do in Nigeria?
I feel a hot take
our
coming.
Our population is 120 million. So everybody's like investing based on potential. But like when you're doing Ghana, how do you pitch it?
I can tell you for Malawi. For Malawi, it's financial inclusion.
Forget. I'm saying Ghana. How do you say, oh, this is the potential for growth in Ghana? Because it's not as if they are bigger than Lagos. And the only place with like people is Accra.
But they still need technology. So there's still a market.
I feel like,
And then they'll pitch.
I feel like there's no response I can give that won't be me digging.
Like, how do you package like Ghana? Like, you know, in Nigeria, you can always like say, oh, this is a, you know,
Financial inclusion, a growing market.
Growing market, 120 million people are going to need something. Ghana, how do they do their own? It's like, oh, this is the year of return. We are going to have some.
No, but we might make jokes about the year of return, but did you see how much they made in tourism?
Yeah. I do not care what anybody says about year of return. That whole stuff is stupid. Accra is small. Accra cannot. They don't.
But Accra is small, but Accra probably made more money than Lagos did in terms of revenue over this Christmas holidays.
I doubt.
You doubt?
I highly doubt it. Because we don't. I think it's because we don't publish our numbers like that.
Because we're criminals.
But I highly.
I mean, I think for me, one of the things I need to do more seriously this year is connect with people in Ghana. Like, we have contacts of people in the technology space in Ghana, so we can have context on some of these things. At least we'll know what they put in their pitch decks.
Because for me, a lot of this stuff is basically like eyeballing it. If you've gone to Accra, you've seen their Ubers
are small. They don't use AC. Everybody winds down. It's really weird. As a Lagosian in Accra, like, I didn't know how to react.
Excuse you, I just bought tickets to Accra. Should I have gone somewhere else?
Don't worry.
Don't worry. You enjoy yourself, I think.
You enjoy yourself.
I think.
So it's like, them even building that massive airport, I was like, every time I've been to Accra, there are more foreigners coming in than locals. Like, you know how we have that line on MMA, you need like how many turnstiles for Nigerians, because Nigerians are like traveling. So for me, the only way I see it is maybe you're building it as a hub for like connecting
West Africa.
to a West African hub, so like international flights. Then I was like, okay, that makes sense. But if it's like you're building it because so people can come to
The airport seems pretty like all right. Like,
it's a
efficiency.
very good airport, but what they really need is like local airports. They don't really need that airport. But maybe I'm being
people that have local airports, there are levels now.
not even the main local airport. I'm talking about that small
You want the
one on
canopy in
side.
Port Harcourt?
I'm talking about that small one on the
Then
side.
we didn't have to drag Port Harcourt. Can we go back to our topic of technology?
But Port Harcourt, you guys have new airports.
Yes, we have
Have
brand
you
new,
launched it?
sparkling. Yes.
Is the AC working?
Yes, actually.
I'm asking because the day I was going to Ghana last year, the AC inside
MMA.
wasn't working.
Well.
I was so confused.
Well.
And the sun was now shining on our heads, and I was with guys, all of us were sweating together. I said, yes, it's very good.
Do you know another thing? Looking at this report, another thing. Anyway, the report you're talking about is some funding landscape report.
By Brighter Bridges.
Come on, funders.
All this analysts. This is one analyst work. Just be Googling. They'll send you email. Please, how does Kuda make money? My friend, I'll find out. Do your research. Anyway, just looking at this report, one thing I try is all these foreign companies that raise money and including people like Fair Money, Pound Pay.
Yeah.
It skews things a lot.
I mean, OPay.
It skews like this thing a lot. Like, oh God. Pound Pay raised what, 40 million? Like the top like bar in international is not international. So you say OPay and Della.
It's OPay and Della OPay, yeah.
Pound Pay, then
Kobo 360.
All the ones above Kobo 360, they're not really Nigerian companies per se. Mm-hmm. I mean, as much as Andela will say they're a Nigerian company, it's Jeremy Johnson is not in Nigeria. Jeremy Johnson is the one that brought the original money. And he just tacked on the two blacks and said, yo, let's go to your country. I mean, OPay is Chinese. Pound Pay is transient.
Yeah.
Putting them in our report and it's like, oh, we raised Africa's funding landscape.
So I mean,
but ultimately they are operating in Africa.
Yes,
so
it is. It skews things a lot in when it's hard. It's still hard for like regular African startups to
raise money.
For no reason.
Yeah.
Kobo 360 raising. This is like another. This is all. Wasn't this like debt? Part of it was debt.
I think so. The Kobo 360 one.
I think it was this thing.
There was a bit of debt in that.
Because when you skip it,
and I think they were even looking for some more debt to take on.
For me, this thing, the list really starts from like, what's their name? Migo.
Gigi.
In fact, I don't know if I'll count Migo. But Rensos.
So I guess in summary, what we're saying is, look, even though there appears to be a lot of funding activity going on for African Nigerian startups, in reality, the truly indigenous startups are still struggling to raise money, and some of the names on the forefront are technically not indigenous like that. Is people with very strong international connections, like a foreign company launching in the Nigerian market, that type of thing. And those are the people dominating the funding landscape. So just put that in context when take that into consideration when you talk about the landscape.
Just don't quit your job. You can't just start thinking there's money. There's no money. This person, even Tastemakers Africa makes our list for raising. She raised 1M. Tastemakers is an American babe now that just does tours in Africa. She doesn't even live here.
Wow.
But they put it there, country HQ US. So
why does it count like African startup? There's nothing apart from the name Taste Africa. There's nothing African about Tastemakers.
I mean, so that's the thing where how do I put it? It happens a lot. So even look at Lionesses of Africa. I remember that when we were talking about that whole thing in like 2017. The lady is she's American, and she just goes around Africa gathering African women and talking to them and helping them build businesses.
And people are just giving her money.
Yeah, and she's raising money based on she's talking to African women, but she's not. But then she's building capacity in Africa. So,
I mean, this thing is it's like when Jumia first IPO'd and then people were arguing whether Jumia is African
I was
or not.
seeing people that wanted to put their money in that Jumia IPO. In fact, I'm sure they won't put their money. All of them have lost it. I've never seen value erode that fast in my life. But I could have told you for free that it wasn't going to click.
Do you know there was this research agency that published a report on Jumia before it IPO'd? What's their name again? Is this Citrus something? And people were really slating them. Like what do they know? That's how they wrote a report on Tesla, this one, that one, blah, 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 yada, yada, yada. And I guess, well, in retrospect, those guys were pretty spot on. Because they were like, look, guys, there are so many red flags in this thing. It looks like this doesn't look like a proper
the
proper
thing is,
business.
all of us live in Nigeria. And sometimes all this stuff is not. It's not rocket science.
You don't need a soothsayer.
You don't need a soothsayer. We've seen how Jumia works. We've ordered things from Jumia.
We've seen how difficult their return policies are.
We've complained about Jumia. So somebody going outside and said, "Oh, this company, I'm going to put Kiniko inside." Me, I'm just looking at you like, you must be an idiot, because here in this country, I would rather order off Amazon.
Yeah,
order
exactly.
Of Jumia. And you think this is a shiny star.
It is crazy. Like, I remember as a student or like a year after, as a student, people used to order from ASOS, and then they'll get in, it won't be their size, and they'll go to a post office and ship it back, and ASOS will
send
size, yeah. And then there's this supposedly indigenous Jumia, and to get, like, Jumia will tell you useless things like, oh, the warranty started the day that the laptop was manufactured, so you are buying it brand new 2 years after your warranty has expired from the first day, so when you open it from the box and it doesn't work, you can't return, they won't accept it.
Yeah.
Like, what do you mean by that? And that's why, like, people don't trust them enough to pay online, and then they'll open it, they'll test it. If it doesn't work, then they'll give the rider back. It was just a mess.
They ruined online for like so many people.
Yeah.
They broke, so like, we already have trust issues. Yeah, they broke trust.
They broke trust. And it has affected the system. Well, anyway.
And even though all those inflating their numbers artificially also messed up Conga, who was actually, those people that are actually trying to do work. Anyway, I don't want to talk about that useless company anymore.
Anyway, to end the year, the CBN gave a gift, in quote, to Nigerians. Yes, even though they have eroded the revenue lines for all the banks in Nigeria, but I mean, people are happy with Emefiele.
People now need to find ways to make money. Give loans.
Are you giving loans?
Yeah, are you giving loans?
It's a work in progress.
I mean, Furo, do you have the exact figures there for the new CBN pricing on things? Like, on the one hand, I understand the CBN's attempt to drive financial services, and one of the ways they are trying to do that is to reduce cost. But the thing with fighting a war on pricing is that there is no end to it.
Mm-hmm. It'll keep going lower.
Yes.
And lower.
It'll just keep going lower and lower and lower. And in my head, it's already a problem that the CBN sets the pricing for everything that banks do. They set caps and all of that. And they don't allow, like, market forces to determine.
But the thing is, it's because you can see banks actually behave like a cabal.
They behave like a cabal because there's a cabal regulating them.
So I think for as long as CBN
continues to act the way they do.
So the transfer fee was 15 naira.
Mm-hmm.
It was 100 naira first, then they dropped. That thing, the thing said cap at 15 naira. Why did not one bank, in the name of free market, say, I'm going to do my own 40 naira?
Because the CBN said not more than. The moment you tell people, like the moment you tell people not more than, the people are going to, this is a private business.
What I'm saying, but Laolu, you are saying CBN should not tell, because if CBN did not set that ceiling, what do you think transfer fees will be?
With the way banks are running and digital banks, I think, and this might be a hot take, but I think it will be less. I think somebody like GTB will have dropped their prices.
So why didn't they crash it?
Because there was no incentive to do that now.
They're making money.
There's no incentive
There's no incentive to crash your profits because...
for starters, remember that.
If you say it's a free market, that, okay, if I crash my prices, I'll kill competition, or maybe I'll beat my competition, whatever. None of them, not one bank came out and said, maybe I should just reduce it like
the banking sector, they decided this. The banking sector is a cabal. They're all like, it's the close.
So it's like, I don't want to say it's a catch-22 type thing, but you have a regulator who is actively involved in don't charge more than that.
Don't charge more than that.
And to protect their own interests.
Because banks would charge ridiculously. I don't buy these things that if you say there was no cap, that they would be to be more fair price.
No, sir. Let me give you this perspective. Banks banded together because CBN releases policies that affect the operations of all of them, and they found out that one on one we might not be able to do anything, but as a team we can go and meet these guys and say, oh, this is the bankers committee, Mr. CBN, we don't like this thing, what is going on here? It's a response to a situation that the regulator has created. Are there other industries in this country that's
really not other industries that are regulated like that?
There are not other industries, but that's because I don't think other industries.
Asset managers going to meet SEC.
Greedy as bankers.
Oil and gas, boo.
I don't think oil and gas guys are as greedy as bankers. Bankers are the greediest.
It's because you're not from where I'm from. Please, let's not
see any private business, as far as me I'm concerned, that is not greedy. Forget what is on your pitch deck about changing the world. These ones, there was no pitch deck to change the world. People put down 25 billion naira in an attempt to make more money out of it. So it's not altruistic. Banks by nature, you can't expect banks to be altruistic by nature because people are looking for money. Shareholders are looking for return on investment.
Like, I don't want to talk about greed in oil and gas because...
What's the new pricing? Have you seen it?
It's like banded.
It's banded for transactions under 5K is 10 naira. Under 50K is 25 naira. And then above that is now 15 naira.
But you know what's funny is that I think I used to say this thing that the reason why unbanked are outside is because transferring money is too expensive because their ticket sizes are
small.
So it makes sense.
Yeah.
But you see that what's the even that banding thing? What is that true cost of the transfer? Because the same fee you're paying for over 50K is the same thing you're paying for.
So it's almost as if you're penalizing people for transferring.
You're not paying. That's really what it is. Because even look against the banding things, that okay, yes, for over 50K.
I mean, there are some payment platforms where the pricing is also banded and capped.
So is it now down to the payment platforms?
To transfer money, what is the true cost of transferring money? Because I know NIBS is charging 5 naira. Everything else is jara. Is who you are sharing the money with. If you have your own infrastructure, you didn't outsource it to some tech, some IT company, you're getting the full money.
Yeah. I really can't answer that because I really don't know.
No, I'm telling you that from NIP's side is 5 naira. That's their cost for helping you route your money from your bank to the next bank. That's what they are charging you at the bank. So if you charge somebody 5 naira for you give it to them at cost. If you do 10 naira, you're making 100% profit now. Banks are greedy. That's what I'm
this argument, and it's fine. Anyway, Sha, let me not say wrong. I don't know why some people will shy away from banks are greedy. Yes, banks are greedy. If banks are, you two go and be greedy on your own side of things now. The point I always want to make, and I need people to recognize this, is that banks are not government establishments. They are not NGOs. They are not for-profit organizations. And because sometimes it feels like people see banks the same way they see the government. And maybe it's because they are so close with government via the CBN that everything is, and CBN is fixing prices and all of that. But these are private organizations. Toke, not the one that we know. If there's a Toke on Instagram that is selling hair that she bought at 5,000 naira for 50,000 naira,
nobody's regulating her.
Nobody's regulating Toke. And Toke is greedy. Please, this is not related to any.
But you have to. But I feel like you also have
real Toke.
You have to protect the people. You can't allow
See,
them to explore.
Nosa, there are how many banks in this country? 24, 25? Maybe with the new licenses, they're like
the big
maybe
banks,
26.
yeah. But there are
Microfinance banks in their hundreds.
Yeah.
Digital banks also rising in number, maybe like 5, 7.
Digital
Truly
bank.
digital banks.
There's only one true digital bank. How many of them have banking license? No.
Is Carbon not a digital bank?
Do they have license? Do you have account number with Carbon?
I don't know.
Is there anybody that's issuing Nuban account number?
Somebody's
Kuda
proud.
Bank is
Proud.
a digital
Girls,
bank.
girls, please do not say.
And then there are lots of fintechs that provide the services that most people go to banks for.
Basically.
You cannot tell me that if they opened up this thing. I mean, look at what happened with telecoms with only 3 players. Look at what happened to their pricing. But the moment you enter a place you try to control things, people will always play to the upper cap. And that was what Andrew Ali was saying one day on Twitter. That the moment you tell people don't charge more than 15 naira, is that 15 naira that everybody is going to charge?
Because it feels like there's something special there.
Yes. Don't charge more than 1%. Open it up. Let somebody be charging 500 naira for transfer and see if everybody will not run to the person offering 10 naira after the 25th transfer.
So like my thing is
I just plugged you in there. Like,
I know myself. My thing is, if you open it up and you're assuming these guys won't just meet in their bankers committee meeting and say, guys, it's 100 naira charging.
And that's where regulation comes in. Because the work of regulation is, in fact, in China, that's one. What industry is that? I forget now. That's the work that the regulator does. The moment all of you start charging similar prices, they'll come and investigate all of you. If they find out, I think it's life imprisonment. That's the work of the regulator. Not to be fixing price, but to be ensuring that competition is fair.
China is a jungle, so let's not compare to China.
Yeah,
China business and
the point is that is where the regulator now comes in. You don't allow the creation of a monopoly, and you don't allow people create cabals. That's the work of regulation. Not to be telling private organizations what they should charge and not charge. And all of this stems from this Nigeria's love for fake socialism. Everything free. But it's all good. I should just know that banks have to revise like their projections for the year.
Yeah. They've already revised.
And not even banks, even fintechs.
Yeah, they're having crisis meetings by December. Because it's like, for these charges now, banks are having crisis meetings because it's clearing quite a bit.
It's a significant drop in revenue
what
for
I
them.
feel actually killed is ATM fees. Because even the 65 naira was bad enough. Like, they weren't making much on that. In fact, ATM, from what I know, ATM is generally bad business, but it's just a necessary evil.
Yeah.
Like, banks would rather you not go to an ATM. They'd rather you transfer something because that 65 naira, they're not chopping
because it's also fit like the actual cost of each machine and the maintenance.
So dropping it to 35 naira,
that will pinch.
Need to pinch because there are plenty of people you are paying in that, especially when it's a not on us
transaction.
There are so many people involved. Yeah.
By the way, not on us means that is a different bank and different card.
There are the two banks, then probably the companies that the two banks have contracted to manage their ATMs.
Yeah.
Then there's the card person that is a MasterCard that reviews that whoever
has the card. Yeah.
All of them are collecting their share.
Card scheme. Yeah.
Collecting their share of that money.
Yeah.
It's not very profitable.
It's not profitable.
But if there's anything I know is that people will find a way to adjust, and in some weird unwitting way, the CBN drives innovation via overregulation.
Yeah, so that's what I'm expecting to see this year. How people what's it called?
Respond to this. They will respond. It might take a while, and then ultimately everyone will just copy themselves. Once somebody finds a model, once somebody finds a model that works, everybody will just copy it again.
It's literally you play a waiting game. You talk in your team.
To be fair, it's not even just financial services. Even in FMCGs too, somebody does an advert style or someone runs a promo and everybody copies. in an economy like this, people will find the best way to make stuff work for them, and they will chase it. Anyway, predictions for the year, guys.
Prediction for a year. My first prediction is banking as a service. The thing we were talking about before the podcast. I think it's going to be very big this year. So you've seen it with Providus and CBNs powering like lots of startups as far as funding via bank transfer. I think there'll be a lot more. More services will be open to non-banking institutions to play with and to do more with. So I think that's where
because every sector relies on the banking sector, but the banking sector has stayed very
closed.
Yeah, for a while. So it's important. I mean, it'll be interesting to see how it unfolds. I feel like funding. I don't know. Funding will drop. Like all the inflow into Nigeria, I don't think it's gonna continue at the same pace. No, because I think it's now
been a blip.
Yeah,
in the actual trend.
Yeah, because I think it's a thing where it's now like, okay, you've been saying 120 million. Okay, let's now like, can we actually make the money? Like, it's not. We're not throwing more money at this problem. Like, okay, you say you solved this problem. Where's the money?
I think that's even like a global thing.
Generally,
like, investors they're no more buying growth as a strategy. It's more, you actually have to make money.
Yeah.
You can't be like, oh, I'm running an unprofitable business because that's what Jeff Bezos did to grow his numbers. Nobody's buying that. Like all them Uber.
I mean, SoftBank might still be buying it,
but like all them Uber and Co, they now actually have to like
make money,
restructure their businesses to be profitable.
Yeah, because I think sometimes like raising so much, like you grow faster than the business is ready to grow because you just have the extra buck that you need to blow, and then you find yourself in a position where getting profitable based on how much money has been put into the business is almost like a, I don't know,
longer term thing than investors would like.
Yeah,
I agree. I mean, it was unconfirmed, but as at last year, we had already started hearing that some investors had started asking questions.
Yeah, of some of the startups that they funded.
Yeah, like
how far?
What's going on here? Can't just be going to Togo every other 2 days. Where's the money? What's going on? So yeah, I think 2019 was a blip, especially with OP and what's their name?
And Pompey.
Those guys that raised the really big bucks and just pushed the numbers.
Even Andela, like them laying off
junior
devs and restructuring to be more senior dev oriented. That's a very, I think that was a big warning sign as far as locally, because it's more, okay, no more time to play. We can't do all this fairy tale stuff.
I mean, if you can't increase revenue, reduce cost.
Yeah, when we say we are training the security guard to learn how to code, sometimes maybe security guard doesn't have sense. You can't really be patient with that guy. Yeah. You have to actually start contracting out your internal resources.
Yeah, get the work done.
Get the work done. So all these people, I want to learn how to code, blah, blah, blah.
I mean, someone gave me context about that thing. It's a no-brainer anyway. It's a demand thing. Yeah. If your junior devs don't meet the demands of what your customers are asking for in terms of skill level for the products and services that they want to build, then it doesn't make any sense.
And the junior devs
to keep them around.
Are expensive.
And they're expensive, yeah.
So like hire the junior devs.
Because I know somebody who went to that fair trying to hire some devs for a thing that he is doing, and he said he couldn't commit to any one of them because he just felt like there was still a lot that they had to learn, given what he expected them to come in from day one and start delivering. And he left without hiring a single person because he just could not commit.
But I like how there was a lot of buzz around, setting up career fair, but then nobody spoke about whether it was successful or not.
I mean, they tried, to be fair, props to them for even setting it up in the first place, because
they're doing
people
better than
retrench people all the
organizations.
time in Nigeria. Yeah. Banks retrench people all the time. I mean, one bank just made some heavy retrenchment moves. And
what's it called? You know, banks, when they do their rechargement, it's usually like contract staff now. So it's like, no, we didn't really sack anybody. We just contracts expired.
The contracts expired.
yeah, he's actually right.
Yeah.
Like many times it's contract stuff, but even that one it only happens the way that it does because of how our labor laws are in this country.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Any other predictions?
Yeah, I don't really have any predictions like that.
Wow. You can't see.
I can't see.
You have a glass ball.
Because
Did you do strategy session next year? You didn't do projection for the.
You don't worry about my own projections.
I miss the old days. Like by December.
I think we've learned to stop lying to ourselves. So now we're a bit more realistic with what we are projecting. So I don't know. I have a weird feeling that somebody will still raise big money again this year. In fact, I have a weird feeling that OP will give us another one.
Obviously, OP has to.
They're not done.
OP is not done.
It can't be
I feel
done.
like they'll give us another one again. But
All these things, all
wrong.
these discounts, all of that you're giving you, all because they're very aggressive with pricing.
Yeah.
Something has to pay for it, because when you take a 15 naira ride from Yaba to Okokomaiko, that driver is not getting 50 naira. He's getting the full money.
yeah, they will expense it.
Has to come from somewhere.
They will expense it.
So you're spending so much on growth and marketing. You have to keep pumping that tap. Just keep
Otherwise,
pumping. Otherwise, it will come crashing down.
I'm also excited about these people's IPO.
interest.
Yeah. It's happening this year, right?
Yeah.
Hopefully, it'll be good for the country.
It's good for the
It'll be good for the country.
Yeah.
I think another prediction I have is that we're going to see more digital banks this year.
Yeah.
I mean, because
To be
there's
fair,
a couple
I don't-
successful ones, it's
I
only
think
fair
that-
that there'll be more copycats.
Like, it's not even like wallet.
I want somebody to give me. I want somebody to do like Kuda, like another digital bank like Kuda.
They're going to be more like Kuda this year, maybe 2 or
And
3 more.
here's my own prediction. Let me just say it with my chest. I feel that a lot of Nigerian banks are going to sort of
Re-strategize.
yes, and operate more like digital banks that have physical branches.
But to be fair, that's the ideal scenario.
Yeah, I think it's going to happen or start happening this year.
Yeah, good to see
Because
like
in the face of dwindling revenue, you have to. So you either increase your revenue or you reduce your cost.
Yeah.
And branches are expensive.
They shut down branches.
They shut down a lot of branches.
Yeah,
And they just
revamped their application,
Release
but it's
digital.
still
they called it a digital bank,
Which is just their mobile app.
It's just their
But
mobile
okay.
app. But
yeah, and it's not very.
they didn't even finish that.
I don't
one.
rate
It's
it.
not
But
very
that's
good.
because
It's not very good.
Snapchat. Look, they can never do that thing well.
You should come and hire me.
As long as they operate the way they are, and they have the decision making is not local. Even that app is the same app used across all Snapchat territories. All they do is just, this is Nigeria on
Naira.
on this. We're in Cote d'Ivoire on whatever currency they have. Remove bill payment. Add this feature.
Yeah.
It's the same thing managed by some team in India, and they just run it.
That's why even their customer care is Indians.
So like they cannot respond immediately to anything.
Quickly.
Even this their thing launching the new app is something that should have been done
since
early in the year after they shut down the
Did you
branches.
say early in the year, bro? 2017.
Exactly. So after they shut down all these branches, you can't respond fast. So that's why I mean it's a nice idea. In fact, of one thing, they do free transfers there's no cap, there's no limits. Free transfers for
all your transactions.
all your transfers are free. As even their ATM thing, they chest all the not on us.
Yeah, but you have minimum balance, yeah.
To open an account to Standard Chartered?
They removed the minimum balance.
They've changed.
So they've done all that stuff,
Yeah.
and it hasn't really clicked like that.
Because their brand perception is already pretty messed up. Because already a lot of people just think that it's
Elitist in a
elitist
very
brand.
poor
Exactly.
country.
And that's
So-
something that would change if decision making was local.
Yeah, because we know of banks that have strived to
Change
change
that perception.
those perceptions, yeah, about their businesses. So yeah, I think a lot more Nigerian banks are going to embrace digital. Yeah, that's my prediction.
All right. Awesome. Well, welcome to 2020, guys.
Happy New Year.
Wow.
We didn't even say Happy New Year.
Exactly, so rude.
I apologize. But Happy New Year to
you and yours.
To you and you. And we shall speak to you guys very soon.
All right.